Hi guys, this is a current series on how to use fabric scraps. Even though this is aimed around Christmas, because I am using some of my Christmas fabric scraps, this could be a project about absolutely anything. So I'm going to show you how to make a fabric scrap garland. So if you didn't want to do it Christmas themed, because that is around the time that I'm filming this video currently, you could make a fabric scrap garland for a girl's room, like make it all pink, you could make it all blue, you could make it for your own sewing room. So whatever your sewing room theme is, make yourself a fabric garland and use up some of them fabric scraps. This is a great project for one of them things where we're really just aiming at the colour. So it really doesn't matter what it looks like. So I have some scraps that I put aside to make this project with. So these are some of my just like smaller scraps, but I actually quite like these fabrics. So I am literally going to go ahead and pull out some of the ones that I don't particularly like. And this was the one that I didn't particularly like. So I chose this one because it was based on more of a green colouring. And also I used this one, which I don't particularly like either. So now I don't need any of the other pieces of fabric, so I can push them away. But this project is also good for that one that we did last week, and if you didn't see my last week's project, you might want to go and watch that because that's really cute, and that's showing you how to make these like scrappy Christmas tree decoration ornaments. They're so cute, and that's another one that you can make a fabric garland out of. So you're going to get your fabric scraps and you're going to want to press them. So you're going to get your iron, you're going to press it because you want to cut it and you want it nice and flat. Now once you have it nice and pressed, nice and flat, go ahead and cut your fabric. Now if you don't know how to use one of these, it's a rotary cutter, and if you always use just a pair of scissors, just check out my video on how to use a rotary cutter. These things are a lifesaver. They're so much quicker than using a pair of scissors, trust me. So now we have one length that is at least 10 inches down, and like I said, it really doesn't matter which direction that any of these patterns are going with. We're just going with that the fact that majority of this fabric is red. Now you don't have to do red and green like the traditional colours, you can do whichever colours you want. It doesn't even have to be Christmas. So we're going to get hold of our scrap fabric here, and I am going to cut it to a 1 1/4 inch in width. So it's going to be a strip of fabric here, and it's going to be 10 inches long, and it's going to be 1 1/4 inches in width. So you're going to want to do a few of these, guys. So you're going to have a whole pile of them, and I will put a link in the description box down below of how many I have on my scrap fabric garland. We are going to take our piece of fabric and this is going to fray on us. And in order for it to stop fraying on us, we are going to use a pair of pinking shears in order to get this zigzag kind of look effect. It's going to stop that fraying. So here we go. Here are our pinking shears, and you can see that we have zigzags going along here, and this stops our scrap fabric from fraying. So when we put it on our fabric garland, it's not going to look kind of like all frayed and messy. It's going to look really clean and nice with these edges. So let's go ahead and cut our scrap fabric. I'm going to grab my pinking shears. I'm going to cut my scrap fabric here all the way down. I'm going to go all the way around. So basically this scrap fabric here is going to create one of our tassels on our garland. It's going to cut it, and then I'll cut it all the way around. And then what I'm going to do is get a whole bunch of them and have them all cut so none of the scrap fabric is going to fray. And it just looks more prettier. So there we go. It doesn't take that long, just sit down and just get cutting away. Here we go, we have red and we have green, and to make this a little bit more interesting, like I did last week, we use some beads. So I'm going to get my beads out and also some twine. Here are my beads here, and here's my twine. I've got some like fancy twine. It doesn't have to be this fancy, but just get some twine. So this is basically the look we are going for our scrap fabric garland. It looks really cute, and as you can see, it doesn't really matter what the print looks like as long as it's the different colours. That's all you're going to notice when this is hung up on the wall. And also you can see how I've got my beads in between here. I'm going to try not to be so pedantic, just keeping it all one colour. I've got gold and pink, so I'll probably use blue and green for my next set. So let me show you how we do this section here. So here we go. I have got a purple and green bead. I'm going to get my twine from one end and I'm going to feed this onto our scrap fabric garland. I'm going to go all the way down here and I'm going to meet them all the way to the end of our other scrap fabrics here on our garland, and then I'm going to get a green piece of fabric, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to fold this over so it's now like 5 inches. And then we are going to get our twine and then we're going to fold this over here and we're going to push it into that tuck, creating a knot and then coming back down. And then you can just push everybody down and that's another one complete. So then I am going to get another 2 beads to put on the end of our scrap fabric garland. So I have another 2 beads here. They call these pony beads, I believe. So I've got, let's go silver first on that twine, and then the blue colour, and then push that all the way down your scrap fabric garland. And then we're going to get some red fabric scrap. And then we fold it in half. So make sure it's folded in half like so. And then we're going to put it, get our fabric, our twine here. And then we're going to push the fabric through the loop. And then you create this knot. And tighten it up. Then you push that one all the way down that twine, and you can see how you are going to quickly come up with this cute, adorable scrap fabric garland. So I'm going to keep going and start creating this garland all the way down this twine. So I will stop and I'll let you know the measurements for my particular scrap fabric garland, and then you'll see the finished result. I think it's going to look really cute. As I'm making this, I'm thinking back to my scrap fabric wreath that I made. I'll put a link in the comment box down below. It's coming along pretty nicely. At both ends of my scrap fabric garland, I left 8 inches. And then I created a hoop right at the top so I could hang it. In total, I have 55 pieces of scrap fabric to make up this scrap fabric garland. Total length of my scrap fabric garland is 62 inches, including then loops at each end, but it can be as long or as short as you want it to be. This is a whole series of using up our scrap fabrics, which is a Christmas edition. And don't forget, last week I made that Christmas tree scrap fabric project. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye!